Sandy, listen, the man is just about to say it.
Yeah, let's everybody listen.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Henry Aldrich. Coming, Mother.
The CBS Radio Workshop, dedicated to man's imagination, the theater of the mind.
This is classic radio theater.
Want to get away from it all?
The FBI in Peace and War.
Fibber, McGee, and Molly.
The unexpected.
The unexpected.
The unexpected.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends.
Crime drama on this Saturday edition of Classic Radio Theater with an episode of Dragnet from 65 years ago, April 20th, 1954, The Big Net. And we thank you for joining us on this Saturday. This is the 20th day of 2019, and we have 255 days remaining till we get to 2020. Congress passed an act creating the Wisconsin Territory on this date in 1836. Robert E. Lee resigned his commission in the Army on this date in 1861 to command the forces of the state of Virginia. The first pasteurization test completed by Louis Pasteur and Claude Bernard on this date in 1862. In 1918, Manfred von Richthofen, the Red Baron, shot down his 79th and 80th victims, marking his final victories before his death the following day. Western Electric and Warner Brothers announced Vitaphone, a process to add sound to film, in 1926. In 1972, Apollo 16 landed on the moon. In 1979, Jimmy Carter, President Carter, attacked by a swamp rabbit on a boat near his Plains, Georgia home. In 1986, pianist Vladimir Horowitz performed in his native Russia for the first time in 61 years, the concert viewed by millions on television.
Good evening, Wembley and the world! We are here tonight to celebrate the life and work and dreams of one Freddie Mercury.
The Freddie Mercury tribute concert for AIDS awareness sold out Wembley Stadium on this date in 1992. Queen with Axl Rose. 72,000 attended in person. The concert, broadcast live to 76 countries, had an estimated viewing audience of over 1 billion people. Eric Harris and Dylan Klebold killed 12 students and a teacher before killing themselves in the Columbine High School massacre on this date in 1990. In 2004, in Iraq, 12 mortars fired on Abu Ghraib prison by insurgents, killing 22 detainees and wounding 92. And Danica Patrick, in 2008, won the Indy Japan 300, becoming the first female driver in history to win an IndyCar race. Passing away on this date in history, Bram Stoker, Archibald MacLeish, Benny Hill, Cantinflas, Rick Rude, Senor Wences, Alan Dale, the man who sang The Undercover Angel, Bernard Katz, the recipient of the Nobel Prize in Physiology or Medicine, China, Joni Laurer, and Cuba Gooding Sr., all passing away. His main thing was, Cuba Gooding Jr.'s father, but also a significant part of a musical group, The Main Ingredient, who did some great music. This is the birth date of Adolf Hitler, Harold Lloyd, Lionel Hampton, actress Betty Lou Gerson, whom you hear on many of these classic radio programs, musician Tino Puente, Mother Angelica, the broadcaster and nun, and singer Luther Vandross. George Takei, oh my, is 82 today. Johnny Tillotson, Talk Back Trembling Lips, 80 years old. Ryan O'Neal, 78. Jessica Lange is 70. George McFly, Crispin Glover, 55. From Lord of the Rings, Andy Serkis is 55. From Criminal Minds, Shemar Moore is 49. Carmen Electra, still attractive and Quite the woman at 47. Joey Lawrence, 43. Miranda Kerr, 36. And from the Flash and Arrow, Carlos Valdez is 30. Those are the few of the people who celebrate the 20th day of April as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday...
Hi, we're the 4 Freshmen, and we just want to say... Happy birthday to you!
Crime drama this hour, an episode of Dragnet from April 20th, 1954. That comes up in just 3 minutes on this Saturday edition of Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
So the other evening, I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to mypillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to mypillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year. A month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-SALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-SALM.
And you're listening to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. Dragnet was a forerunner, a groundbreaker. It was probably the first police procedural drama where they got in depth as to how the case was being resolved. And it felt realistic. It felt very gritty and real life, where a lot of radio programs that dealt with crime really didn't seem that realistic. They seemed to be very acted. But let's listen to this episode from April 20th, 1954, Dragnet, The Big Net on Classic Radio Theater.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. The names have been changed to protect the innocent.
Dragnet.
You're a detective sergeant. You're assigned to robbery detail. 14 women in your city have been robbed and beaten. You've got a half dozen descriptions of their attacker. None of them match. The man's still free. Your job, get him.
documented drama of an actual crime. For the next 30 minutes, in cooperation with the Los Angeles Police Department, you will travel step by step on the side of the law through an actual case transcribed from official police files. From beginning to end, from crime to punishment, Dragnet is the story of your police force in action.
It was Wednesday, November 26th. It was cold in Los Angeles. We were working the day watch out of robbery detail. My partner's Frank Smith. The boss is Chief of Detectives Thad Brown. My name's Friday. I was on my way back to the office, and it was 2:34 p.m. when I got to room 27A. Robbery.
Come on, Joe. Everybody's in the skipper's office.
All right. I tagged by R&I to pick up these packages.
Anything on them?
No, not much. We'll check them out, but they don't look like they're going anyplace.
Yeah, go ahead.
Joe, Frank, you want to come over here?
Yes. Sorry we're late.
Don't worry about it. Let's get this thing on the road.
All right.
You want to settle down? Let's get started. The word's probably gotten to you about why we're here. It's on this purse snatching thing Friday and Smith have got. Things gotten way out of hand. Thief hit again night before last. Victim's at the county hospital in a critical condition. She was pistol whipped, and it looks like she's got a fractured skull. It's only a matter of time before somebody's killed. That's the reason we're here, to see that it doesn't happen. Now, you all got mimeographed MO sheets. On it, you'll find what information we've got. Some of it's pretty broad, but it's the best we've been able to come up with. Friday and Smith have handled the thing to here, so I'll let them give you the details. You want to tell them?
Yeah, right, Skipper. Well, first off, you'll notice on those MO sheets, all of the crimes have been listed in the order that they happened. Also, the place and the time. There's also a description of the clothing the suspect wore, and when we could get it, a description of the suspect. Now, you'll notice that in most cases, there's quite a difference there on the physical description of the suspect. However, we've been able to put them all together, and we've come up with a composite drawing that should look something like the suspect. The one thing that's fairly constant is the description of the clothing worn by the suspect. It's almost always dark. He wears a hat, and he's been known to wear a top coat. Now, the hat and the coat are also dark material. Clear there, everybody? All right, now, take a look over here at the wall map. Now, we've pinpointed all the jobs so you can get a little better picture of the operation. Can you all see there?
Yeah.
All right. Now, the first one took place at 73rd Street, just off Broadway. Right here. The rest of the pins along here show the jobs that he made from there. All the way up to Jefferson. He's also worked Avalon Boulevard, Central Avenue, any street where there's a streetcar or a bus line, he's hit. He works between the hours of 5:30 and 11:30 p.m. The approach is almost always the same. Frank, you want to tell him about the victim?
Yeah. The victim will get off the streetcar usually, or the bus, whatever it is, and starts to walk home. As soon as the woman gets in the area that's not lighted well or that hasn't got much traffic, the guy walks up behind her and grabs him. After that, he tries to take her purse. If the victim offers any resistance, well, he usually slugs him. Because of the fact that two of the victims have seen a gun in his hand, we know he's armed. So the gun's been described as a revolver, too.
How about a car, Joe? Excuse me. Does the suspect drive one?
Car?
Yeah.
Well, we got to assume that, yeah. He's been seen a couple of times by people in the neighborhoods as he ran through their yards. Pretty safe to figure that he's got a car parked on a side street somewhere. None of the victims have seen a car, however, but we know he leaves the area immediately.
Mm-hmm. No description of the vehicle, huh?
No, we've had a couple of calls, but they didn't check out. Now, the plan here is to use police women as decoys and try to bait him out into the open. That's the reason the women officers are here.
You figure to work the main arterials?
What was that?
You figure to work the main arterials?
Yeah, there'll be 2 officers assigned to follow each policewoman. Now, we've been able to obtain 10 in all. That'll mean that 20 officers will be assigned to them. The rest of you will be in the area somewhere. Now, one of the things to look for is any vehicle which closely follows a streetcar or a bus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what happened?
How about it? Any questions?
Yes, how are we going to get our assignments?
Well, the skipper here has a list, Lomi. All of the officers who are to work with a policewoman are noted. Now, the others are given the areas that they're supposed to patrol.
What about other calls coming in? Who's going to handle them?
I didn't hear you.
The other calls coming in, who's going to handle them?
Well, those officers not assigned to a policewoman. See, there'll be other units from the outlying areas on the operation, too. They'll lend us a hand. But remember this. Under no circumstances are those officers working with the decoy to leave her. Is that clear?
Yeah.
Don't leave the policewoman.
Right. Well, then we stick with the detail unless there's an emergency call.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, if we run into any problems, who do we call, Joe?
Well, we'll be in the area in 1K80. You can get in touch with us, Harry.
Mm-hmm.
How about it?
Well, if we pick up a suspect, should we get in touch with you?
Well, you can use your own judgment on that, George. If you think it's a routine pickup, take him to robbery and he'll be processed there.
All right.
Any more questions? Skipper, anything else?
We all know about the days off cancellation. Sorry it has to hit now, but that's the way it's got to be. No one will draw any time till this thing is cleaned up.
Right.
Well, Murphy, won't do any good to have your wife call me. You're still going to have to work. That's it. Operation will start tonight and go until the suspect's in custody. Have a happy Thanksgiving.
Okay. Well, say, wait a minute before you go. The worksheet's on the board outside. You can check it on the way out. You better do that. Right.
Is there anything else you need to carry it off?
No, it's all there, Skipper. Only thing we can use now is luck.
No reason for you to be different. Suspect's had his share.
Frank and I left the office and drove out to the area of the operation. The plan was that the policewomen would board the cars and buses and get off at the points where previous sluggings had not taken place. In the established MO of the suspect, it was noted that he never hit on any street more than once. At 4 p.m. that afternoon, all of the units were in place and the plan was started. During the night, several pickups were made, but no one was apprehended who resembled the suspect. Those people who were detained were processed and they were either booked or released. The following day, Thursday, November 27th, Frank and I checked the reports filed by officers in the field. At 3 p.m., we stopped at a small restaurant and we had a plate of sliced turkey, cold gravy, and some lumpy mashed potatoes. We wished each other a happy Thanksgiving. We went back to Unit 1K80 and cruised the streets marked for surveillance. Another night went by without the suspect hitting. Saturday, November 29th, 11:30 p.m. Frank and I were driving down San Pedro Street at Vernon Avenue.
Looks like another one shot, huh?
Yeah, it's beginning to shape up that way, isn't it?
You figure the suspect knows about the operation? I mean, where we're working?
You got as much as I have. Doesn't seem likely.
You got a cigarette? I'm out.
Yeah. There you go.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'm going to give you a light.
66T, 827 North La Brea, traffic accident.
Faye was sure hacked about Thanksgiving.
Well, that figures.
No, it didn't make me too mad. She had the in-laws over.
Yeah.
Her brother. One thing about that guy, he can eat more than any 10 people. You know, I've had to sit there and just look at him, and everybody's through, and he's still going strong.
Yeah.
65.
Nephew was over, too. You know Little Sam? You've heard me talk about Little Sam?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, Little Sam. Kid's a monster. Only 10 years old, and he's a real monster. Faye's sister lets the kid do whatever comes into his mind. They say it isn't good to repress him.
What?
They say it isn't good to repress him. That's what they, repress him.
Yeah.
I'd like to take him over. I'd repress him.
Yeah, I guess you'd do that real good, wouldn't you?
1K80, 1K80. Meet Unit 1K87 at the 300 block, East 51st Street, Code 2.
1K80, Roger. KMA 367. Let's go.
Yeah, that's one of the units assigned to a decoy. Think it's a good one?
Well, there's one way to find out, isn't there?
Yeah.
Ask him. South Park is located at the corner of San Pedro and 51st Street. One of the policewomen had gotten off a streetcar at the corner of Main Street and 51st. She'd walked east, and as she passed the park, a man had approached, blocked her progress, and demanded money. The man was pretty drunk, and when the officers following the woman arrived at the scene, he was struggling with a policewoman. He was taken into custody, and we were called. We took the man to room 27A, and from there to the interrogation room. Physically, he matched the description of the suspect as we'd gotten it from the victims. 12:15 a.m.
That's the dirtiest thing I've ever heard of, pulling me in here like this.
All right, what's your name?
I don't think I'm going to tell you.
Let me see your wallet.
Nothing in there. No juice.
Empty your pockets on the table.
Did you have a copy of the L.A. phone book?
Come on, mister, empty
here?
your pockets, will you?
All right.
Come on, everything. How about your wallet?
There you are, young man. No juice.
Take the money out.
I told you there's no juice.
No money in the wallet?
No.
All right, how about it? This your true name, Victor Nathaniel Roberts?
You think I use alias?
Now, don't be smart. Where do you live?
Well, I have no pad.
Where you been sleeping?
Wherever I can.
You got a job?
What?
Do you work?
No.
You ever hold a job?
Nope.
Never had a job?
Can't remember one.
What were you doing on 51st Street tonight?
Oh, I was just looking around.
At 11:30 at night?
The sun hurts my eyes.
All right.
I was just walking along the street when this young woman stopped me.
She stopped you?
She tried to pick me up.
That girl was a policewoman.
You're telling me.
Now, what were you doing out there?
I'm never going there again.
You ever been arrested?
I am now.
Before?
I'll tell you the truth.
Yeah, you do that.
I have.
Where?
Oh, all around.
What were you arrested for?
Bag.
Have you done time in California?
Come on, have you done time in California?
Have you?
Yes.
I'll check the record, Joe.
All right.
Is he going to look me up?
What's that?
I say, is he going to look me up?
He's going to check your record, yeah.
Officer, you mind a little constructive criticism?
Now, you listen, mister. Your funny time's running out here.
You must feel a little sneaky about this whole thing, don't you?
What's that?
I mean this whole business about the policewoman. Don't you think that's going too far?
How long you been in Los Angeles?
Oh, sometime this year.
What do you mean by that?
Oh, checked in about a year.
What?
I said I checked in about a year.
A year ago, you mean?
Yeah, about a year ago.
Well, if you haven't got a job, how do you manage to live?
Haven't got a little drink, have you?
Joe.
Yeah.
See you in a minute.
All right. You sit still. What do you got?
Checked R&I. Got the word on Roberts.
Yeah, what about him?
He's been tagged 67 times for drunk.
All in L.A.?
Total's 92. Doesn't look like he's our man, though.
Why?
Well, he's been in Camarillo for the last 3 months.
We put in a call to the superintendent at the state hospital up at Camarillo. He told us that Victor Roberts had only been released 10 days before. He'd spent 3 months undergoing treatment for alcoholism. The suspect we were looking for had been working for the past 2 months. Roberts was booked in at the main jail on a charge of violation of Section 4127A LAMC. During the time we'd been working on the case, all known purse snatchers had been picked up and interrogated. Runs by the stats office had been made, and the names they gave us had been checked out.
The Big Net Dragnet, as it was originally broadcast April 20th, 1954, here on Classic Radio Theater. And coming up in just 4 minutes, we'll have a look at the news of the day from 65 years ago today and the conclusion of Dragnet. Thanks for listening.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my MyPillow. and I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker than usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my MyPillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these MyPillows, and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheet Special. Use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there. Something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our classic radio theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus classic radio theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station on this Saturday, an episode of Dragnet, the Big Net, as it was originally broadcast Tuesday, April 20th, 1954. In the newspapers of that Tuesday, 65 years ago, these were some of the headlines. Dateline Washington, the government's revenue chief, testified Tuesday that builders of 1,149 FHA-insured apartment projects reaped $65 million in profits almost entirely from borrowing more than they spent. T. Coleman Andrews presented a statistical summary to a Senate hearing conducted by Senator Byrd, the Democrat of Virginia. He did not pinpoint any singular project. However, Byrd said housing officials guaranteed $24 million in loan on Glen Oaks Village in Queen County, New York, although the project cost only $20 million. And Byrd declared he understood rents in the Glen Oaks project were 15 or 20 or 25% higher due to the fact that loans to the project were in excess of construction costs. Andrews put in that not all of these loans were government insured. Meanwhile, Utah Republican Senator Wallace F. Bennett predicted his full Banking and Currency Committee will delve into the FHA scandal, saying, "It's hard to know after just one day of hearings where the committee will go. Our time Monday was spent on Title I, the housing law that deals with home improvements. There's a feeling we had probably better stiffen up this feature of the law." Dateline Moscow, a senior deputy Tuesday, told the opening session of Russia's new Supreme Soviet Parliament that the Soviet Union will use atomic energy for the well-being of its people. Among its listeners was Soviet Premier Georgy Malenkov, who told the last meeting of the Supreme Soviet that Russia had developed the hydrogen bomb. Dr. Alexander Kirshkin told the delegates that Russia's desire is for peace and closer relations with all people. But the Soviet government newspaper Izvestia, which appeared on Moscow streets only a short time earlier, angrily accused the U.S. of intervention in the hostilities in Indochina. Dateline Washington, Senator Joseph R. McCarthy said Tuesday that the Army's charges against him were designed by Assistant Defense Secretary H. Struve Hensel to stop an investigation of Hensel for misconduct and possible law violation. McCarthy said the Army's report that he and his staff sought favors for Private G. David Shine has given greater aid and comfort to communists and security risks than any single other obstacle ever designed. McCarthy's reply attacked Pentagon politicians, including Army Secretary Robert T. Stevens and Army Counsel John G. Adams, but he added Hensel, who recently became Assistant Defense Secretary for International Affairs after serving as Defense Department counselor, apparently influenced and guided Adams in preparing the original Army report. Dateline Hanoi, Indochina, the defenses of beleaguered Dien Bien Phu shrank Tuesday to less than 3/4 of a square mile under constant communist pressure. The communists were within 700 yards or less from the heart of the fortress. The French High Command said Brigadier General Christian de Castries had completed a radical reorganization of his isolated garrison, pulling his troops back from several salients. De Castries blocked out a rough circle around 5 positions for a do-or-die stand against the third mass communist attack. Dateline Bonn, Germany, Western intelligence officials say the Russians have assigned former Field Marshal Friedrich Paulus, their vanquished enemy at Stalingrad, a key role in expanding the communist East German army. The 63-year-old ex-prisoner has taken over the training of the officers' corps and officers' cadets for this Soviet-equipped force, these officials said on Tuesday. Dateline Oklahoma City, that giant elm tree in L.J. McCurdy's parlor must go. McCurdy says it keeps the house awfully cool in the summertime, but it doesn't fit in with his new decorating scheme. The tree was only a sapling when he built the room around it 13 years ago. Now it juts several feet above the roof. Out of sentiment, McCurdy says he'll use the stump for a lamp base. Though some of the day's top news stories is reported in the newspapers of Tuesday, April 20th, 1954, on your radio Dragnet, which continues now on Classic Radio Theater.
Locals and APBs were gotten out, carrying the description and the MO of the suspect. The leads that came in were followed up without result. Informants were questioned, and George Brereton up at CII in Sacramento furnished us a list of possibles. All in all, over 100 people had been questioned. In the course of the investigation, several other cases were cleared, but our prime suspect was still free. Meantime, the operation continued. Each night at 4:30 p.m., 10 policewomen would board streetcars and buses in the area. 10 police cars carrying 20 officers would follow them. In the immediate vicinity, another 40 men were patrolling the streets and alleys looking for the thief. As a result of the newspaper stories on the string of crimes, calls were coming into the complaint board at such a rate that they were jamming our normal facilities. Women refused to walk the streets alone after dark. Apparently, the thief could come and go as he pleased. In the next 2 days, he hit 3 times, but in areas that were not covered. He began to hit in places he hadn't worked before. He seemed to know where we were and that we were using decoys. The search went on. Tuesday, December 2nd, we got a call from the manager of a cheap hotel in the Skid Row area. We drove out to see her.
Right down this way. He's not in.
Well, just what is it you want us to see?
You wait. When you get a good look, you'll know.
Yes, ma'am.
Here we are. I'll get the door. You just come on in.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Over here. I was cleaning up this morning. My girl's sick. Had to do it myself.
Mm-hmm.
And just cleaning up, and I found them over here in the closet.
Yeah.
Up on the shelf. Can you see them up there? Way back?
Wait a minute. I'll have to get a chair.
Well, I was just straightening up, and I saw him, and I thought to myself, I ought to call the police, get him right out here. That's what I thought to myself.
Yes, ma'am.
I always feel it's the duty of every citizen to cooperate with the police.
Yes, ma'am. You got your flashlight for me?
Huh?
Flashlight.
Oh, yeah, here you go.
Well, do you see him up there on the shelf?
Yes, ma'am. Frank?
Yeah?
There's something down there I can pick him up with?
Yeah.
Well, you'll find out anyway. You don't have to worry about fingerprints. I guess I shouldn't have done it, but when I found him, I picked him up, but I put him right back, right where I found him.
Here you are.
Okay.
What you got?
2 women's purses.
Mm-hmm. 2. Look inside of them. All kinds of cards and things. No money, but all kinds of other stuff. You just look.
Who has this room?
You mean registered?
Yeah.
Well, he gave his name as Jerry Kilgallen. You ask me, though, I think it's phony.
He take the room alone, did he?
Oh, absolutely. This is a hotel for men. Don't allow no women in.
Is it possible that somebody else left these purses up there?
Hardly. These rooms are cleaned every day, cleaned thoroughly. I don't miss anything.
Yes, sir.
How about the identification in them, Joe?
No, I don't recognize the names. We'll have to check them. Take a look at this, though. No, here, on the lining of the purse. This one.
Oh, yeah. You better get it to the lab, huh?
What is it? You find something?
We're not sure.
Well, what is it? I called you. I got a right to know. What is it?
It looks like bloodstains.
You are listening to Dragnet, the authentic story of your police force in action.
April 20th, 1954, Dragnet, the conclusion in 3 minutes on Classic Radio Theater.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 888-998-7225. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225, 888-998-7225.
Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill. And again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-362-6091 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-362-6091 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-362-6091 now.
This is Dr. Howard, founder and formulator of Balance of Nature. We're changing America, one life at a time.
Before I went on it, I had cholesterol problems and I was on medicine. After the first year, my blood test really knocked my doctors out. They just wonder what I do to get such good blood tests, especially my cholesterol. I don't have any cholesterol problems. And I also had glaucoma, and I couldn't believe what the doctor told me. He said, I have no evidence of glaucoma anymore.
From now until April 21st, receive a 20% discount and free shipping on any first order of Balance of Nature. Again, the special radio offer will only be available through April 21st. Call 1-800-2468-751. That's 1-800-2468-751 or go to balanceofnature.com.
To take advantage of this special discount, use discount code USA.
Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Coming up later on Sunday, we have something special for Easter Sunday, The Son of Man, an episode of the CBS Radio Workshop, as it was broadcast April 21st, 1957. This is something we've never done before, and I think it's something that should be done. On Monday, another first-time program, we've never done an episode of the Tom Mix Ralston Straight Shooters, Western adventure from 72 years ago. On Tuesday, Jed Peeler's favorite program, I Was a Communist for the FBI. And on Wednesday, we'll have an episode of Jack Benny from the original master recordings. On Thursday, Harold Perry is the Great Gildersleeve. And on Friday, an episode of The Aldrich Family from 1953. And also coming up this week on our podcast that you can hear at classicradio.stream, Jeff Regan, Investigator, Big Town, Philo Vance, The Lives of Harry Lime, starring Orson Welles, Gunsmoke, The Crime Club, and more. Just find our podcast anywhere fine podcasts are served. Just search for USA Classic Radio Theater or go to our webpage, classicradio.stream. Now the conclusion of Dragnet from 65 years ago, April 20th, 1954, 65 years ago today.
We got a complete description of Jerry Kilgallen, and Frank called it into R&I. We found no record on him under that name. The purse was sent to Lieutenant Lee Jones at the crime lab, and after running a precipitate test, he told us that the stains were human blood. A stakeout was placed on the hotel, and that night, Kilgallen was taken into custody. Under interrogation, he admitted taking the purses from two women in a department store in downtown Los Angeles. He went on to explain that he'd just gotten into town and that he was broke and hungry. He gave us the date and the times of the thefts, and when we called the victims, they were able to give us positive identifications. He told us that when he'd taken the second purse, he'd cut his hand on the clasp, and that the bloodstains we found were his own. He was booked in at the main jail on the charge of suspicion of robbery. That night, Frank and I took up our place in the Dragnet operation. Nothing happened. The next night went by without activity. On Thursday night at approximately 8:45, a woman was slugged and robbed after she left the bus on 71st Street just off Vermont. All cars in the operation converged on the area, and a block-by-block search was made. Additional officers were called in to aid in the hunt. Every alley, every street, and every backyard was gone over thoroughly. 11:15 p.m. While the search continued, Frank and I drove down to Georgia Street Receiving Hospital to talk to the latest victim.
I was on my way home. I didn't think anything like this had happened. I was just walking home.
Can you give us a description of the man?
I don't know. It was dark. I was just walking home and it happened.
Did you see the man at all?
Yes. It was dark.
Was he a tall man?
I guess so. I guess he was tall. I talked to the other men. Isn't that enough? I talked to them.
Well, we're trying to get all the information we can.
I don't remember good. My head hurts. Isn't there something they can do to make my head stop hurting?
Did you see the man's face? Did you get a look at it?
Yeah, yes, I did. I saw his face.
Can you describe it for us? Can you tell us what he looked like?
I don't know. I don't feel good.
Well, this is pretty important, ma'am.
He had a real white face. Real white.
What about his eyes? Can you tell us what color they were?
Blue. Watery. Blue.
How about his hair?
It looked brown. I'm not sure. I think it was brown. He had a hat on. I couldn't tell good.
All right, just a few more questions now.
Yeah.
Can you tell what color his hat was?
I don't know. My head hurts. Can't you do something?
We'll send for the doctor again. He might be able to give you another sedative.
Hurt?
There's something else, ma'am. Was the man clean-shaven?
Huh?
I say, did he have a mustache?
No. No mustache.
Does he wear glasses?
No.
Is there anything else you can tell us about his appearance?
No. Nothing. He had a gun. I know that. He had a gun. That's what he hit me with. Gun.
Mm-hmm.
He hit me when I wouldn't give him the purse. First, he asked me for the money. I told him to get out of my way. He said he'd kill me. And he hit me on the head. Hit me as hard as he could.
All right, ma'am. Now, is there anything else you can tell us that might make it easier to identify him?
No, nothing. I told you everything I know. Nothing else.
All right, we're sorry to have bothered you. Thank you. We'll be talking with you again when you're feeling better.
Yeah. You come back then. I'll try to remember that.
Thank you very much for your help.
It's all right. You ask the doctor to come back, won't you?
Yes, ma'am.
Officer.
Yes, ma'am?
Something else might help a little bit.
What's that, ma'am?
Before he hit me, I remember there was a fight. I didn't want him to take my purse. There was a fight.
Yeah.
I tried to stop him, and I scratched him. I scratched him hard. See, I broke a fingernail when I did it. That'll help, won't it?
Yes, ma'am.
It should. Last thing I remember before he hit me, he was bleeding a lot.
Where did you scratch him, ma'am? Do you remember? On the hand?
No, right across the face. Left side.
got to a phone and we had a broadcast put out carrying the additional information on the man and the fact that he had been badly scratched. Officers in the immediate area of the attack started a check of all the drugstores that were open in the hope that the thief had stopped for medication. After getting the call out, Frank and I left the hospital and started back to search the area. 11:46 p.m.
You talked to the doctor about the victim?
Yeah, she's in pretty bad shape. They're going to move her to General. Sebastian says he might have to operate.
Be glad to get this guy.
Yeah.
Attention all units. Attention all units.
You want to turn it up, Joe?
All units on frequency 7, please stand by. All units in the vicinity of the 100 block on West 29th Street. Officer needs help. Special attention 1K80, code 3.
Lean on it. Right.
All units in the vicinity of the 100 block on West 29th Street. Officer needs help. Special attention 1K80, code 3. Frequency 7, clear.
I'll call in. 1K80 to Control 1. Acknowledging the call to the 100 block on West 29th Street. KMA 367. It took us 2.5 minutes to get to the location. At the curb on the side of the street, we saw a parked police unit. Standing next to it was a woman officer. We pulled up next to the unit and talked to her. She told us that our suspect had tried to attack her, and on the arrival of the two officers had fled the scene. At that moment, Officers Sluter and Murphy were in pursuit. While Frank got additional information from the policewoman, I went back to the car and got on the radio. 1K80 to Control 1. 1K80 to Control 1.
Control 1 to 1K80. Go ahead.
Suspect is now on foot being pursued by two plainclothes officers through backyards in the area of West 100 block between 29th Street and 30th Street. Dispatch units to block intersections of Broadway and 29th Street, Broadway and 30th, Broadway and 28th Street, Broadway and 27th, intersections of Main and 28th, Main and 29th, Main and 30th Streets, Main and 27th Street.
Control 1 to 1K80. Roger. KMA 367.
I got the story. You set?
Yeah, let's go.
Policewoman says they're headed west. Through the back of the house down there.
All right, let's move.
Attention all units. Attention all units. 1K80.
Policewoman says the suspect ducked into a driveway. That one right up there.
All right, take it easy.
Right.
West 29th Street, now being pursued.
Looks like we got a live one this time, huh?
Well, let's hope we can keep him.
In the backyard between 100 block, 29th Street, and 100 block West 30th Street. 1K82. Block the intersection.
Flashlight's over there, Joe.
Let's take a look.
You see who it is?
No. Ducked back behind the garage. Come on. Sluter, what do you got?
He's back there. Murphy's with him.
You guys all right?
Yeah.
All right, let's take a look.
You want to call an ambulance, Frank?
Right.
How is he?
You better stop Frank.
Yeah.
Tell him to cancel that ambulance.
He opened up first, Joe. Murph and I gave him every chance.
Well, that's more than he gave those women.
The story you've just heard is true. The names were changed to protect the innocent.
On December 8th, an inquest was held in the offices of the coroner in and for the county of Los Angeles. At the inquest, the coroner's jury returned a verdict that the suspect, Kenneth Neal Stewart, died as a result of gunshot wounds inflicted by police officers in the line of duty. The death was listed as justifiable homicide. You have just heard Dragnet, a series of authentic cases from official files. Technical advice comes from the Office of Chief of Police W.H. Parker, Los Angeles Police Department. Technical advisors Captain Jack Donahoe, Sergeant Marty Wynn, Sergeant Van Sprasher. Heard tonight were Ben Alexander, Vic Perrin, Vivi Janis, Herb Ellis. Script by John Robinson. Music by Walter Schumann. Hal Gibney speaking.
From April 20th, 1954, Dragnet on Classic Radio Theater. We've talked about Dragnet as being the real father of police procedurals, and there were a lot of them on radio that would follow. CBS's The Lineup, and of course CBS's amazing program, which was the predecessor to Cops, a program called Night Watch. And there are so many great shows, and you can track a lot of those crime shows back to Dragnet, which began in 1949 and still floating around today. You never can tell when Dragnet might pop up again. Dragnet, April 20th, 1954 on Classic Radio Theater. Our podcasts are available anytime on demand if you go to our website, classicradio.stream. We produce 21 hours of classic radio theater a week, and it's there for you to hear anytime your little heart desires. classicradio.stream. You can also learn about classic radio theater collecting. See some of what I do away from this microphone. classicradio.stream. And of course, our podcasts are also available through iTunes, Spreaker, the iHeartRadio app, anywhere fine podcasts are served. Just search for USA Classic Radio Theater. Email classicradiotheater@gmail.com, or easiest for going through the website, classicradio.stream. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thank you for listening. Thank this station, support the advertisers, and tell a friend the great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Jack Benny Program.
Look, bud, I said your money or your life. I'm thinking it over.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Straighten up that closet one of these days.
This is Classic Radio Theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
The Bob Hope Show, transcribed direct from Hollywood.
Well, hello. Come right in. Oh, George, we've got company.
From Hollywood, the George Burns and Gracie Allen Show.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
Comedy this hour with the quiz show twist on it. Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life, as it was originally broadcast on April 20th, 1957. It was an afternoon show at that point in time, as NBC started immediately after that with their Monitor program. Their whole big long show ran all weekend long. By the way, let's see what George Fetterman says the secret word is.
Ladies and gentlemen, the secret word is roof. R-O-O-F.
Really?
You bet your life. It's Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life, the comedy quiz series produced and transcribed from Hollywood and brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to see and drive the most exciting car in the world today, DeSoto for 1957.
The most exciting car today is now delighting the far highway. It's the lovely, it's dynamic, it's DeSoto. Exciting style to please the eye, exciting power to pass them by. It's the lovely, it's dynamic, it's DeSoto.
And here he is, the one, the only...
Well, here I am again with a chance for each of our couples to win $2,000. And there's also a chance somebody might leave here with $10,000. George, who's first?
Groucho Nancy Mason and Danny Wheel are on deck, so would you come in, please, and meet Groucho Marx?
Welcome to You Bet Your Life.
Thank you.
Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Perry Mason and Danny Whale, eh? Where are you from, Perry?
The name is Nancy Mason.
Oh, Nancy Mason, yes. Huh? Are you from Mason City, Iowa?
No, Groucho, I was born right here in Hollywood. One of those unusual people.
It wasn't on the show, was it? Was it on You Asked For It?
I didn't ask for it, I'm afraid, but I'm darn glad I'm here.
Oh, well, I am, too. I think you're a very attractive-looking girl. You're Danny Weil, huh?
Will is the name, but just call me Danny.
Why do you spell it W-E-I-L if it's wheel, huh? Is that the front wheel or the back wheel?
Well, some people refer to it as the Stepney, as we call it, and that's the one they stick on the back as a spare. You know, the...
I don't usually get confused this early in the proceedings. Now, where are you from, Danny?
London.
London, huh? Mm-hmm. That's a very real, genuine English accent, isn't it? Huh?
Oh, yes.
Whereabouts in London? In Soho?
No, I come from Stepney, the East End part of London.
Oh. Are you what they call a Cockney?
Oh, I'm real genuine, as you say in the States. I died in the wool. Cockney, born very close to Bow Bells.
You ever hear this? It's a great big shiny man if she belongs to me.
You're thinking of Harry Champion.
Yes, and he sings, I'd let her know who is who. Putting on a blokey that is 6'4" and her only 4'2".
Yes,
Why they hadn't been married a month for more when underneath her thumb goes Jim. Ain't it a pity that the likes of should put upon the likes of him?
You got it.
I went off kind of half Cockney then, didn't I?
Yeah, you were doing all right.
And half Welsh, too. What sort of work did you do in what used to be merry old England?
I was a watchmaker over there.
A watchmaker, huh? Did you come from a family of...
Yes, my family's been in the trade for about 400 years.
Uh-huh. Where was your place of business? Was it on the main stem? The main stem.
What are we, oh, you mean the main road?
Yeah.
That's the trouble. I can't get used to this American, you know.
The American what?
The
American. I didn't think we had any of that left over here. Now, Nancy, what about you? Are you married?
Groucho, I'm a widow.
Oh, well, I'm sorry to hear that. Well, anyone as attractive as you won't remain single very long, I'm sure of that. Have you got someone dangling on the string right now?
No, there's absolutely no one.
No one, huh? Well, what do you attribute this to?
Well, actually, my children are sort of anxious about the whole thing.
What kind of a man would you be interested in?
Well, first of all, he has to meet the entrance exam, which is walking into the house. And the examiners of the board, of course, are my two young girls. They have to
approve it?
Pass the test, yes.
How old are these children?
3 and 5. But I would like to say that, above all, he has to be a traveling man. Not a salesman, but a traveling man.
You want a man who's interested in traveling?
Yes, indeed.
Here, I'm trying to land a husband for you, and you're trying to get rid of him before you've even got him. If you want a man who travels, you should nail one of the boys on the South Pole expedition. They're going to be gone for 3 years, I guess. Speaking of time, Mr. Weil, I'd like to hear some more of your Cockney accent. What should we talk about? What is your favorite subject?
Sailing.
Sailing?
Yeah, boats, little sailing boats.
Oh, bites, you mean, don't you, huh? Sailing bites? Well, tell me all about sailing. And start from the bottom. And I'm saying there's more in sorrow than an anchor.
Oh. Oh, well...
That's a pretty good one, isn't it?
It was,
yeah. You hear good ones like that over in...
Well, the trouble with the American jokes is that I hear them, then about a week later I'm sitting there and I suddenly see them.
Well, I could write this one out in Braille if you'd like it. Well, if you're interested in sailing, why didn't you buy a boat?
I did when way back, I started off with a little 8-foot dinghy, you see.
A dinghy? What's a dinghy?
A little tiny boat, sort of thing.
How do you spell it? Yeah?
Dinghy.
I see.
Or a small boat. I got it right, didn't I?
All right.
Thanks very much.
Well, what happened then?
Well, I started to build a boat, and I spent 4.5 years doing it, and finally finished up with a 40-foot sloop. Nice white paint topsides and everything else, all ready to go to sea, you see. And then I decided I'd shove off on a little shakedown cruise, decided I'd push off around the world with it.
You must have been a real sailor by this time, is that right?
No, not really. I knew nothing about navigation or deep-sea sailing when I started. It was just a... sort of have a bash, and see what happens.
How far did you get?
I got about 400 miles off the coast of Australia there. And,
really? Yeah. Well, tell us about the round-the-world trip. What happened on this trip? Anything?
Well, I was tootling along, minding my own business and reading my very famous piece
You were what?
I was tootling along, sailing along.
Oh.
Yeah. I was sitting in the cockpit minding my own business and reading one of your very famous American classics, The Life of Mamie Stover. And then, next thing I knew, the boat stopped. And then I realised I'd run onto an uncharted reef.
Mm-hmm.
I was over there for about 24 hours, hanging up the mast.
You were there alone on the reef?
Yeah.
You've had some very exciting times. What are your present plans, Magellan?
Well, I'm over here, over in the States now, and I'm rather hoping that we'll find somebody, a sponsor or something, that'll help me out with another boat or maybe a series of sponsors that can use the idea.
And your seamanship, too, would come in very handy.
Yeah, it would come in handy.
Say, I just happened to... You said you were wanted a man who was interested in traveling. What about Danny? You could marry him and never see him again. I suppose you had a date with Mutiny on the Bounty here. What would you talk to him about?
Well, I think the first thing I would do would be to start asking him about his adventures. I really would, because I think they sound terribly fascinating.
You think that would make good conversation?
Well, it certainly would on his part. And I'm an awfully good listener, I really am.
In that case, Nancy, you should go out with me, and then later you can talk about your adventures. Well, you're a lovely couple, and I'd like to continue talking to you two, but the time has come for you to win some money. At least I hope you win a lot of money. Well, not too much, a little money. All right, now, from our list of 22 categories, you selected general information. I'm going to ask you some questions. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. And by the way, the next time you contemplate a trip around the world, will you do me a favor and take Fenneman with you?
It's a deal.
All right, here we go. What do you call the distance between the front and rear axles of a car, of an automobile? What is it called? There's a name for it.
That's just terrible. I should know that. Between the front and rear axles of the car.
That's got me beaten anyway.
It's the wheelbase.
I know.
Or, as they say in England, wheelbase.
You have one wrong. Don't miss the next one while the game is over.
What cabinet post is in charge of the Coast Guard?
What cabinet post?
Which of the cabinets is in charge of the Coast Guard?
That's an American angle. That's a little more in your department. It's got me beaten. No, I think I've had that.
Secretary of Defense? I don't know.
Well, you've really got me beaten there. That's something in the American line of thought.
Well, it's the Secretary of the Treasury.
Well, that's
2 and out.
2 in a row wrong.
Oh,
yes.
I'm sorry you got through so fast. You're such an attractive couple. We don't want you to...
You should have asked the right questions.
Well, we had 22 categories, and apparently you chose this one.
You should have been the one that chose them, then.
All right, here it is. Get this right, and you get $100. And please, no help from the audience. What singer is the star of the Perry Como Show?
The Grand Prix.
General Grant is right. I'm sorry you didn't win, boy. You're such a nice couple, but thanks anyway for being with us. You bet your life. Huh?
Nice meeting you guys.
Looks like the first couple couldn't handle it. Let's see what happens with this next couple. But we'll check on this couple in about 3 minutes. Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life, April 20th, 1957 on Classic Radio Theater.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 877-875-5909. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com.
So the other evening I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my MyPillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to MyPillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
Hi, I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You're listening to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. From April 20th, 1957, Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life, the secret word is still roof.
Well, Groucho, Mrs. Melba Taylor is waiting to talk to you, and her partner is, well, if I tell you his name, you won't believe it.
I don't believe anything you say.
So I'll let you find out. You can ask him yourself when he comes out here. So, folks, you come out, please, and meet Groucho Marx, please.
Welcome to You Bet Your Life.
Thank you.
Say the secret word, and you each get an extra $50. It's a common word, something you find around the house. Now, Melba, what's all this about your name? What is it?
Melba Taylor.
Melba Taylor, huh? Oh, what's your name?
My name is Safety First, Groucho.
Safety First?
Yes, sir, Safety First. That's my name.
That's kind of a curious name. I can understand the last name being First, but why do they ever saddle you with a name like Safety?
Well, I really don't know why, but Father was a very jocular sort and a great sense of humor.
Well, what you're saying is that you're one of your father's little jokes, is that it?
I certainly am. The name Groucho is of German origin. It was Firster at one time, and over the years it was reduced to F-I-R-S-T, First.
Oh. Where are you from, Safety?
I was born in Conneaut Lake, Pennsylvania, a very small town in northwestern part of Pennsylvania, a summer resort. Later moved to Meadville, the county seat, and from there to Pittsburgh for pharmacy school.
You're a pharmacist?
Yes, I am.
You're Melba Taylor, is that right?
Yes.
You must be the toast of the town, aren't you, Melba? What kind of work does your husband do? I assume you're married, huh?
Mm-hmm. He works at Square D Electrical Company.
He does? Mm-hmm. What is he, the head square? How long has he been with
he's very intelligent.
Is he? How long has he been with the Square D Company?
Oh, just about 16 years.
16 years?
Mm-hmm.
What does he do there?
He works. I don't know exactly.
You don't know what he does, and he's been there 16 years?
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever tried asking him?
I guess it'd be a good idea. I might. I don't know.
Well, it's always a pleasure to meet a woman who takes an interest in her husband's work. How do you know he isn't a safecracker?
He's a good, dependable man, and he goes to work, and he's a very good father, and he's very nice.
How long have you been married, Melba?
16 years in April.
Mm-hmm. Now, how do you and your husband get along? Do you have lots of interests in common?
We get along very, very well, and...
You never ask him anything.
He's hardly ever home. No, I do ask him too much. He won't talk before breakfast, and he leaves right after.
What was that?
I say he won't talk before breakfast, and he leaves right after. Then I never see him.
What do you give him for breakfast?
Bacon and eggs.
Every morning?
And orange juice. Once in a while
Maybe he
likes
doesn't like
oatmeal.
bacon and eggs. Why don't you give him some safe crackers?
He likes oatmeal, but it's easier to fry eggs than it is to boil the water and put the oatmeal in.
Well, you certainly know how to keep a husband, all right. I mean, out of the house. What does he do? What does he do, your husband?
He's very interested in horse racing, and he goes to horse races in the daytime, and he works at night.
He doesn't sleep at all, huh?
He doesn't sleep very much, and I sleep a lot, and I'm always sleepy.
Have you tried cooking the oatmeal for him the night before?
He wouldn't like that.
Oatmeal is better, you know, after it's standing 6 or 8 hours.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Not standing, but sitting. I mean, I've never seen oatmeal standing. Now, safety, are you married?
Yes, I am, Groucho.
What is your husband? No, I'm... How did you meet Mrs. First? And is this the first Mrs. First?
No, this is the third Mrs. First, Groucho. I met this
What
Mrs.
about
First.
the first Mrs. First?
The first Mrs. First passed on.
Oh, I'm pretty nosy.
Yes, you are.
But it's the only way you can find out
That's
anything.
right.
I always tell my daughter, you know, she's 10, I say, ask questions.
You really can ask them?
Yes, she can. She asked me one the other day that I'm never going to answer. Well, let's get back to the safety part of your name, Safety. Just how safe are you? Do you live up to your name?
Well, I try to, Groucho, and I think I've been reasonably successful. I did drive 1 million miles without an accident, and I was cited in Ripley for having done so.
Really?
Yes.
Well, that's quite an achievement. Have you ever received a traffic ticket?
Numerous ones, Groucho. The first I got was on Figueroa for having a foggy windshield. That was an ordinance violation. And that's the...
You're not allowed to have a foggy windshield on Figueroa?
Not on Figueroa.
What did the cop say?
Well, the first thing, of course, he asked me my name, and I said safety first, and he said, oh, yeah?
You got off to a flying start there, didn't you? Those Figueroa cops are very tough, you know. A friend of mine was a screenwriter named Arthur Caesar. I don't know whether you ever heard of him. He wrote a lot of big pictures. And he went to some kind of an open convertible one night. He was dressed as a Roman senator. And he got stopped for speeding or something, and the cop wanted to know his name. He says, my name is Caesar. He says, come with me. Now, Melba, you say you're a housewife?
Mm-hmm.
Well, are you content with running a good home for your husband, or do you have any further ambitions?
I'd like to be a good lyricist.
A lyricist? You mean play one of those things?
No, I'd like to write words to music. I just can't stand being a nobody. I'd like to do something.
Well, have you anything else that you could do that could possibly bring you fame and fortune? Are you an expert at anything?
There isn't anything I do well.
There isn't anything you do well?
No, but I've just got to do something well, because I've just got to get my name on a sheet of music or something.
Well, that's where we're different, you see. I don't do anything, but I do it brilliantly. Well, I'd like to help you, Melba, but I don't know how. Maybe you could be a famous comedian. Can you tell jokes?
I like to tell jokes.
Could you rip off a joke, and then we'll decide if you could be famous? Just a short joke, huh?
Betty Furness opened a refrigerator door, and there sat a little rabbit. And she said, well, what are you doing here? And the little rabbit says, is this a Westinghouse? And she said, yes, it is. And the little rabbit said, well, I'm just Westing.
You know, you don't often see a talking rabbit in a refrigerator. Would you like to try that same joke and use Hasenpfeffer instead of rabbit? Well, that was a pretty good joke, Betty. But let's not make any snap decisions. Let's be sure we uncover every side of your talent. What else do you do? Do you sing or play the piano?
A little. My favorite is the trombone.
You play the trombone?
Well, I said it was my favorite. I enjoy it more.
Meekin, have you got a trombone in that miserable group out there? Sure. Could you send up a trombone? Now, Melba, this may be your chance to make a name for yourself. Trombone is coming up. Let's hear you play. Now, give yourself some elbow room. I tell you, you go over there, Melba, so this slide doesn't hit me in the kisser, huh?
Thank you.
Well, Well, now that Melba's warmed up, we'll see if she's any good at this trombone playing. April 20th, 1957, Groucho Marx, You Bet Your Life. We'll also check in next half hour with the couple next door right here on Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my MyPillow, and I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker than usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my MyPillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these MyPillows and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheet Special. Use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there, something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Okay, let's see how good Melba Taylor is at the trombone. This episode of You Bet Your Life, April 20th, 1957.
It's just warming up.
Oh.
Well, that was magnificent. Now, what was that tune you played?
Buckle Down and Saki.
Oh, is that what it was? It shows you how much I know about good music. I thought it was Tchaikovsky's Variations on a Theme by Red Grange. Well, you're a lovely couple, and if you don't get married immediately, you're both making a big mistake. Let's see if you can win any money in the quiz. Now, you've selected from our list of 20 categories popular music of the last 20 years. Is that right? This is Mr. Fenneman.
Hi.
Hey.
You're
Watch yourself
prettier than
around.
you are on television.
Oh, thank you. Out of the mouths of babes and trombone players comes the truth. Now, Cab Calloway, otherwise known as Jack Meakin, is going to play some tunes, and you name them. If you miss 2 in a row, you're out. If you get 4 in a row right, you win $1,000. Now, one answer before you decide. You decide between you and then answer. This is the category you've chosen, isn't it?
Uh-huh. Wasn't it?
Oh, we've lost her. Would you like to kiss Mr. Fenneman?
I thought you played the trombone very well.
I know you was her, I would have.
Would you like to kiss an old drugstore proprietor?
You mean him?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Thank you very much. Apparently, she has no standards at all. She'd probably even kiss me if I asked her.
Yeah, I would.
You would, huh? Let inflation come. Who cares? All right, identify this one. Okay, Cab. What is it?
The very thought of you?
It sure is. The very thought of you is right. Now you got one.
One right, 3 more right, and you'll have $1,000.
What's this tune? What is it?
What's behind the green door?
That's close enough. I don't know what's behind it, but it's green door anyway.
You're halfway to $1,000. 2 more right, and it's yours.
Now give me the name of this.
Once in a while.
That's the title of it.
You have 3 right. I'd like to give you the money right now, but you have to get 1 more. And you have $1,000.
This is the real Fenneman, you see. He's as wild as a March hare. Daffy as she is. All right, listen, I guess it's spring. It's rhubarb and everything does this, you know. Spring in the air, George.
I think that's it.
No, let's see you spring in the air. All right, listen to this and tell me what it is.
How high the moon? That's right.
What is it?
How high the moon?
Take the money, you won it. Wait a minute. You got 4 in a row. You don't mind if I snap a little of your dialogue, huh? Now you can keep. I tell you can go to do the rest of it.
What is that?
The rest of the speech.
Well, you got 4 in a row.
Yeah.
You see, you can either keep your $1,000. Or else you can.
She's not interested in money, this kid. This is real life. You don't often see that on a quiz show. Love comes to George Fenneman.
You can try later on to double your money or something. I don't know.
And Melba's husband is at the racetrack while Well, you won $1,000. Now, you can keep it and quit, or you can come back later and try to double your money. You may even get a crack at $10,000. So go over there and sit it down, and I'll send George over a little. And thanks, man. Looks like you and I are washed up. George is away in the lead. Think about it.
And that means that in just a minute we'll find out if our last couple will try for the big money.
All right, George, how do we stand on the big question?
All right, Melba Taylor, and safety first. Would you come back, please?
Now, you won $1,000. Now, you have a chance to win a lot more, perhaps 10. Or you can stop here and keep your 1,000. If you decide to go for the big money and fail, you wind up with a total of 500. Now, what do you propose to do?
Well, we've decided to take what we have and be very happy about it.
Well, I think you may be making a very shrewd decision. I don't know. That's your privilege. Congratulations for winning the 1,000, and thanks for being on the show. You bet your life.
Be sure to tune in again next week, same time, same station, for Groucho Marx in You Bet Your Life. Don't miss the Chrysler Corporation's big TV show on another network. And don't forget Groucho's TV show, also brought to you by the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America, who invite you to visit your neighborhood showroom today to see and drive the most exciting car in the world today. DeSoto for 1957.
And when you go in, tell them Groucho sent you. So long, folks, and remember, it's the lovely, it's dynamic, it's DeSoto.
Here's a reminder from the National Safety Council. Good brakes stop many accidents before they get started. You Bet Your Life, transcribed from Hollywood, is produced by John Goodell, directed by Robert Dwan and Bernie Smith. Music by Jack Meakin. This is George Fenneman signing off for the DeSoto Plymouth Dealers of America. You Bet Your Life is heard by our armed forces throughout the world.
Oh, that was fun. Groucho Marx and You Bet Your Life, April 20th, 1957 on Classic Radio Theater.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year, a month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-SALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-SALM.
Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill. And again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-362-6091 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-362-6091 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-362-6091 now.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus Classic Radio Theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy.
Pros know getting the next job means doing this one right. Lowe's is here to help with brands you need to power through any job. Like Hitachi Power Tools, soon to be known as Metabo HPT. Same tools, same warranty, new name. Stop in today and save during our Spring Black Friday sale and get up to 25% off select Hitachi Power Tools, like a 10-inch compound miter saw for just $99. For tools you can trust to get the job done right. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's. Offer valid through 4/14. See store for details. U.S. only.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Let's wrap up this funny hour with an episode of The Couple Next Door, April 20th, 1959.
The Couple Next Door, written by Peg Lynch and starring Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce.
What's the matter with Aunt Effie tonight?
Aunt Effie? I don't know. Nothing, I guess. Why?
I don't know. She's so quiet. Usually at dinner she babbles on a mile a minute. Tonight she hardly said anything. Now I notice she seems to have disappeared upstairs.
Oh, well, I suppose she feels she should let us be by ourselves, you know.
Oh, for Pete's sake, we're just sitting here reading. She didn't have to stay upstairs.
Well, maybe your fault a little bit, dear.
My fault? Why?
Well, you do make little remarks once in a while, you know. And
I didn't say a word.
Well, you have. And then Aunt Effie, I know, feels that maybe you don't like her here and that she's wearing out her welcome or something. You know, it just...
Well, when it comes right down to it, let's face it, when somebody comes for Thanksgiving, you don't expect them to stay through Easter. Well, look, don't get me wrong. I love Aunt Effie, but she can get on your nerves.
Well, she's a big help to me. And besides, when it comes right down to it, you always keep urging her to stay.
I know, I do. Well, it didn't make much sense for her to go home and rattle around in that barn of a place as long as Aunt Martha spent the winter in Arizona with Carol.
I know.
I guess I just wish Aunt Effie would stop doing my crossword puzzles.
She do the one in tonight's paper, too?
Yes, of course she did, and the infuriating part is that not only is she better than I am at it, but she does them with a pen. Well, I mean, it's hard to like somebody who can do a crossword puzzle in ink.
Oh, darling. Look, why don't you go upstairs and ask her to come down?
Ah, you go.
No, she is your aunt, and I think it would be nice if you did, dear.
Oh, I'm so comfortable.
Go on.
Aunt Effie!
No. Go on, get up.
Oh.
Go on. Go on up and put your arms around her and tease her a little bit. Oh, she loves that, and then coax her to come down, you know.
Golly, all right, relatives.
Now, don't act that way. Now, you do love her. Go on up and bring her down, and let's find out if something is bothering her.
Okay.
Go on.
Me down. Put me down.
Well, Aunt Effie wouldn't come, so I just carried her down.
Honestly.
There.
Honestly, you Dickens.
Now, you be a good girl and sit down here in the living room with us. Do you understand? We missed you, didn't we? Huh?
Yes, of course we did.
Well, I had some things to do.
You weren't doing a darn thing. You were just sitting there looking out the window.
Something wrong, Aunt Effie?
Oh, no.
Now, come on. Tell your charming nephew. A pretty girl like you shouldn't have any worries on her mind.
Oh, you.
Now, look, it can't be anything very serious.
Well, no, I guess it isn't really. It's just, well, I know it's silly, but all day I keep thinking of Martha.
Aunt Martha, why?
Mm-hmm. Yes, why?
Well, I haven't heard from her.
Why, you heard from her last week, and she was fine.
Oh, it isn't that I'm worried that she's sick or anything, but I must say, I think Martha has acted very strangely.
About what?
Yes, about
well,
what?
For example, I sent her a birthday present, remember? And even called her long distance on her birthday, remember?
Yes, I remember. The night you were trying to watch the fight on TV, you remember, dear?
Yes, I sure do.
And when I was sick, Martha never even sent me a get well card.
Oh.
Get well card? For Pete's sake, you just had a cold.
I did not have just a cold. I had a virus.
Yes, of course you did.
It was not just a cold, because every now and then I am still shaky.
Well, okay, virus then. But maybe Aunt Martha didn't know you were sick.
Yes, she did. I dropped her a postcard.
Well, maybe by the time she got it, she thought there was no point in sending a get well card because you were well again.
Well, I know it's important, really, and my feelings aren't hurt the least bit. That is not it at all. It is just that it's very strange of Martha.
Well, come on
no,
now. Forget
okay.
it. Forget it.
Yes, let's look over the travel folders, Aunt Effie.
Yeah.
My goodness, if we're going to Europe this summer, we want to make sure we don't miss anything.
Well, are you both definitely going?
Yes, I don't know yet how I'm getting the money, but I'm certainly going.
And I am, too. Of course, that's another thing.
What's another thing?
I picked up some brochures on England, London, and all that. I certainly want to see the Wax Museum and the...
Do you know that Martha never even mentioned the trip in her letter last week?
What do you mean?
Not one word. I wrote her that I was planning to take my savings and go to Europe with you two this summer. So at least in my lifetime I'll have one really nice trip. And Martha never said one word about it.
Well, maybe she didn't get your letter, Aunt
Yes,
Effie.
she did, because she answered some of the other questions I asked her. Now, wouldn't you think that my own sister, whom I live with, and we've always been so close anyhow, wouldn't you think she'd have said something?
Well,
Look, she's still out in Arizona with her daughter, isn't she? She's busy helping her, probably going places, doing things. She said she was coming home soon, probably just waiting to get back to talk about the trip with you.
And you said you had mentioned it to her before, that she would stay here with Betsy and Bobby instead of you if you went with us.
I did say that to her. And she said, of course she'd come here and keep house, but since I told her I was definitely planning to go, she hasn't said one word.
Well, that is funny.
I think it is very funny. Martha's whole letter was very strange.
Oh, nonsense. You two can make mountains out of molehills.
Oh, well.
But if you're upset about it, get on the phone and call her up.
Oh, no. I wouldn't give her the satisfaction of thinking that I think it's funny.
Uh-huh.
I know Martha, and I know that she knows that I know she's acting funny.
Oh, boy. As I said before, relative.
Well, I'm sure he's right, Aunt Effie. Now forget it. Aunt Martha will be coming back from Arizona soon. And then,
Well,
you can...
I don't think it's very nice of her. Seems to me that when somebody writes to you that they're planning to take a trip to Europe, that you should write back and say, oh, how wonderful, or something like that. I think Martha is just jealous, that's all.
Oh, now, Aunt
I
Effie,
do. I do. She's always that way. When we were girls and I got a new dress, she never told me how pretty it was. She always made some little remark about it. Things like, well, it's all right if you like that shade of green. I don't. You know, that sort of thing.
Aunt Effie, you're saying things you're going to be sorry for.
No, Aunt Effie's right. Aunt Martha is sort of that way. I don't think she means to be, but she's like a lot of people who say something nice about something and then add just one little remark that just spoils it.
Remember when the family was over here for Thanksgiving? Here you were, just moved into this lovely new house.
Seems to me Aunt Martha liked it.
I remember what she said. For a colonial house, this one was very nice. Then she raved about the ranch-style house her son-in-law built in Arizona, and how beautiful that was.
That's
Remember
right,
that?
I
Yes,
heard
that's
her.
what she
I
did.
heard her. She likes houses that have no upstairs.
Well, it seems to me that house you two live in back in Dodge Center has an upstairs, and it's pretty much of a monstrosity, too, if you ask me. Seems to me Aunt Martha's a fine one to criticize.
Well, I will say this. Martha doesn't like that house any better than I do. Of course, Mother and Dad built it, and we own it.
And it's a barn of a place, and it costs a fortune to heat every winter. I don't know why you don't sell it and get yourselves a smaller place, anyhow.
Oh, now, honey, that's
Well,
easier said than done,
great
for goodness
big
sake.
thing.
Probably cost them more to buy a smaller house than they can get for that big one.
No, we did have a very good offer. Every now and then we get offers. People have bigger families now and again, and we have had chances to sell. Well, Martha and I talk about it, and then in the end we never do anything.
Well, sell the house. Buy yourselves a smaller one. Then if you make a profit, you can split it and use that for your trip to Europe. Then you won't have to use your savings. Well, you don't need to look at me like that. It was just an idea. I realize there's a lot of sentimental attachment to the place since Grandma and Grandpa lived there, but...
Sentimental attachment? There's nothing sentimental about old-fashioned plumbing or about spring house cleaning in a 16-room house, ripping up the carpets in the parlor and then tacking them down again. Every year, Martha and I go through the whole rigmarole. Well, it is just nonsense.
Well, now, I didn't mean to get you upset.
I am not in the least upset.
Oh.
I think I've just come to my senses. When you think of the trouble, the work, and the inconveniences people put up with just for sentimental reasons, it's ridiculous. You are absolutely right. I'm going to call Martha, and we're going to sell that house.
Well, wait a minute,
Yeah.
Aunt Effie. My
For
goodness,
Pete's
think
sake,
it over.
there are a dozen things to be
Yes,
considered,
I
Aunt
don't
Effie.
have to think it over. When I make up my mind to do something, I do it.
I know, Aunt Effie, but you don't want to just sell and take a loss.
No.
I mean, it's better to wait until you get a good offer. I mean, you
we
can't
won't just sell. I won't sell it all unless there's enough money left over to pay for your trip to Europe, too.
Oh, no, Aunt Effie, no, I wouldn't take it.
All right, I'll lend it to you.
Well,
whatever you want. But we are going to Europe. And I'm going to call Martha right now.
She's getting in here tonight? Aunt Martha is flying in here tonight?
Yes! What was the funniest thing? I called Arizona. And, of course, I should have called person to person, but I never dreamt Martha would be at Carol's. And, of course, since I called station to station, I had to talk to whoever answered the phone.
Well, look, never mind. That's all right. Anyhow, you wouldn't have known that Aunt Martha was coming if you hadn't talked to Carol.
You mean Aunt Martha's coming home to Dodge Center, don't you?
No, she's coming here. Carol said that Martha had been very worried about me, so she suddenly decided to come on home. Well, come here since she knew I was still with you.
Worried about you, for Pete's sake. You had that cold a month ago.
What? I had a virus, not a cold.
All right, a virus a month
Funny
ago.
she didn't let us know she was coming.
No, you know my sister. Won't spend a penny she doesn't have to. Carol said Martha was getting in at 3 a.m. 3:30 a.m.
3:30?
And she's getting in here?
Yes. You know there's no airport at Dodge Center. But isn't that funny? And here I've been thinking of her all day.
3:30?
Oh, it's cheaper to come at night, you know. Well, I'll go make up that other bed for Martha.
I wouldn't mention about selling the house to Aunt Martha tonight when she gets in, Aunt Effie. I mean, she'll be tired and we can all discuss it tomorrow.
Yes. Well, at least she's been worried about me.
Yes. Well,
I'll go make up that bed for her.
Boy, 3:30 in the morning. Why do relatives always choose to arrive at the darndest hours? 3:30. You don't know whether to go to bed or stay up.
Well, I'll stay up and go get her. You get your sleep.
Oh,
You
no. I'll go.
If you go to bed now and set the alarm...
Look, it's 8:30. I'm not sleepy now. I can't
go to bed anyhow, dear. Try to sleep. Set the alarm for 2:30, which gives you plenty of time to dress and get out to the airport.
Oh, golly, my family. And the plane will probably be late, and I'll be sitting there waiting for it.
The Couple Next Door is written by Peg Lynch and stars Peg Lynch and Alan Bunce with Margaret Hamilton and is produced by Walter Hart.
And yes, it is that Margaret Hamilton from the Wicked Witch and the Wizard of Oz. It actually is. And that wraps up this hour of Classic Radio Theater, The Couple Next Door, April 20th, 1959. Visit our webpage, classicradio.stream. You can learn more about classic radio collecting. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thank this station. Support the advertisers. Tell a friend the great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.
The USA Radio Network presents the greatest radio programs of all time.
Matt Dillon, United States Marshal. The first man they look for and the last they want to meet. It's a chancy job, and it makes a man watchful and a little lonely. Gunsmoke.
This is Classic Radio Theater.
James Stewart as the six-shooter.
Have gun. Will travel.
Fiery horse with the speed of light, a cloud of dust, and a hearty hi-yo silver, the Lone Ranger.
Now here's your host, Wyatt Cox.
Western Adventure, Sam Buffington, starring as Luke Slaughter of Tombstone. This episode from April 20th, 1958, the Henry Fell story.
Slaughter's my name. Luke Slaughter. Cattle's my business. It's a tough business. It's big business. I've got a big stake in it. And there's no man west of the Rio Grande big enough to take it from me.
Luke Slaughter of Tombstone. Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, Civil War cavalryman turned Arizona cattleman. Across the territory from Yuma to Fort Defiance, from Flagstaff to the Huachucas, and below the border through Chihuahua and Sonora, his name was respected or feared, depending on which side of the law you were on. Man of vision, man of legend, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone.
Folks who write dictionaries must have a pretty tough time with the word tolerance. I guess if you had to boil it down to just one other word, maybe it'd be understanding. Some of us here in Tombstone found that out when I gave Chief Margano and a few of his Apache braves the loan of a couple of sections of my spread to try their hand at cattle raising. And I got chewed out plenty about it every time I went into town.
Well, you call it an experiment, Slaughter. I call it an invitation to those sneaking Apaches to murder you.
Well, they're living on my spread. Don't you figure it's my business?
Ah, they won't stop with you. Once they smell white blood again, they'll massacre everybody in Tombstone.
Look, Mr. Vale, Margano's through making war. He's trying to understand our ways. He's even trying to get his people to adopt some of them.
Well, they adopted guns quick enough, but they'll never be cattlemen.
This was their country before it was ours. They've got a right to be part of its progress. You can't just shut the Apaches up on a reservation and forget them.
Oh, maybe we can't forget them. But if we drive them back to the Chiricahuas, we'll at least have some warning when they strike.
They aren't going to strike. Margano and I have sort of a private treaty.
Margano's a senile old fool. You got a private treaty with that trigger-tempered son of his?
Lasha? I like him, too. He's intelligent and he's got spunk.
Spunk my foot.
Luke, I've been looking all over for you. I want you to make the acquaintance of Mr. Henry Fell from back east. Fell, this here's Luke Slaughter, my boss. And this here's Carter Vale, another big man in these parts.
Howdy.
A distinct pleasure, gentlemen. Indeed it is.
So, you're from back east, Mr. Fell.
Yes, indeed. Boston.
You know, boys, Mr. Fell here can outdraw any man in the place. Well, he can, by golly, yes, sir. I'd bet a month's wages he can even outdraw you, Luke.
I'm afraid neither Mr. Fell nor myself have any special reason for drawing.
Well, he's got plenty of reason. Oh, not necessarily against you, of course. He'll take on all comers.
You think you could outdraw me, Fell?
I have very little doubt of it, Mr. Vale.
With what? You aren't even packing an iron.
Well, you want to take him on, Mr. Vale? Why, he'll even furnish the weapons.
Let's just forget about it, gentlemen.
Forget it nothing. Fell may as well learn some of the facts of life in the Arizona Territory.
Exactly what I came to do, Mr. Vale, to learn them and record them for posterity.
All right. I doubt that you'll ever record this incident, but you can start by trying to outdraw me.
With Mr. Fell's weapon?
Yep.
Hold on. Why spill blood over a silly barroom challenge?
Now, you've been implying that I shouldn't mix in your business, Slaughter. Well, this is mine.
Well, correct. Now, Mr. Vale thinks he can outdraw Mr. Fell. I and Mr. Fell don't think he can. And the loser buys a round for the house.
Splendid. I don't indulge, but I shall be delighted to stand treat if I lose.
Why, you ridiculous little dude. All right, let's see the gun.
I'm unwrapping the weapons. Nobody mentioned guns. You draw with these, Vale, and here's yours, Fell.
Paper and a piece of charcoal. What is this?
Why, a outdrawing match. 1, 2, 3, draw.
We should have both been wise to Wichita, Vale. He's got a sense of humor like a cow buffalo.
Watch Mr. Fell, Luke. Ain't he the cleverest?
Nose flaring, lips tight, chin craggy, powerful.
Hey, wait a minute. Is that supposed to be...
Hurry up and draw something, Vale. He's almost done.
Come on, Vale. I'll be doggone, Vale. It's a spitting image of you.
There we are.
Yeah. Well, looks like you're stuck for the drinks, Mr. Vale.
Well, now look here. When a man challenges me to... if anybody thinks this is a laughing matter...
now, there is no offense intended, sir. You are more than welcome to the little sketch, and I shall be delighted to purchase the libations.
I don't welch my bets. Frank, set him up for the house.
Come on, boy.
You're a good sport, Vale. And it's mighty good likeness, too.
Well, I guess I will take the picture home with me, Fell. Mrs. Vale is, well, women sometimes enjoy a doodad like this.
Luke, you know what Mr. Fell's doing here in Tombstone?
Yeah, keeping you in free drinks.
No, sir, he's... well, that too. But he come west to paint engines.
Yeah, well, the engines do their own painting, with war paint. Slaughter and I were just talking about that.
We weren't getting anywhere either.
War paint? I understood that the treaties with the Apaches were working out nicely.
They are, when the white men live up to them.
Well, that is practically treason against your own race, Slaughter.
If it's treason to compare some members of my own race with Indians like Cochise and Margano, well, I'm guilty. Tell us a little more about what you plan to do, Mr. Fell.
Well, I want to paint the strong Indian faces, their customs, the way they live. The people back east have some amazing misconceptions about them.
So has Slaughter. He trusts them.
I'm trying to understand them. Anyway, Mr. Fell, there are some very interesting and colorful Apaches living on my spread. You'll have models for all the painting you want to do.
And the Apaches will have a brand new candidate for buzzard bait.
This here's powerful hard work, Luke.
Well, I know you don't feel right out of a saddle, Wichita, but we're going to need this corral.
Oh there, Red.
Good morning, Vale.
Morning, Slaughter. Wichita. Howdy. How'd the missus like your picture?
Well, she wants your friend Fell to paint one of her. You know where I can find him?
I'm afraid he isn't available today. I took him out to the Apache camp at sunrise, loaded with paints and brushes and canvas.
He was happy as a chipmunk in a pinyon forest.
Slaughter, a tenderfoot like Fell could be just a fuse to set your Apaches off. Suppose he tries to paint one of their women.
Chief Margano explained about that to him. He said, a woman who gazes too long at a reflection in a clear stream forgets her life's purpose.
Them Apaches got the right idea about their women folk. I ought to marry one and make her hammer this corral together.
What are you building the corral for, Slaughter? So Margano won't steal your Mustangs?
Well, for once you came sort of close to trapping me. I'm going to try to improve the range Mustangs with some Morgan breeding stock. I figure there's no use tempting Lasher and his young buck friends way beyond their conception of our property laws.
You and your fancy talk about your Apache friends. You don't trust them any more than I do.
Sure I do. I just don't expect them to understand a whole new code of ethics overnight.
Hey, somebody's sure pounding a lot of leather.
Yeah, it sounds... Look, Wichita, it's Fell on that little roan we left out there for him.
Well, I never thought a dude like him could ride... Slaughter, he's in trouble.
I got it. Steady. Oh, steady. Wichita, help him off.
Sure. Wait, Mr. Fell, what happened? Your clothes is ripped. That mare's lathered up like you was going to shave her.
That's all right, I guess. I saved most of my paints from this canvas. Mr. Slaughter, those Indians are far from friendly.
What?
They set upon me. The one you called Lasher and another red-skinned blackguard.
I told you they'd do it, Slaughter. They'll be coming after us if we don't go after them first.
Hold it, Vale. Let's find out what started the trouble.
Nothing I did, I assure you. I was painting a portrait of the old chief with his permission. Lasher and this other young buck came up and he took one look and knocked me to the ground.
Well, how'd you get away?
Well, for the moment, the old man seemed as surprised as I was. This Lasher rushed to him, started a jabber in what I assumed was Apache, and I wrenched loose, grabbed what I could, and somehow mounted this horse. Fortunately, the Indians' horses were still hobbled.
The miserable sneaking cowards tried to murder you in cold blood.
Don't be too sure. Maybe this was Lasher's idea of a prank.
Oh, I doubt that. Lasher's friend, who I eluded with the aid of an elbow to his Adam's apple, was holding a knife to my throat at the same time.
Hey, that is a nasty cut on your arm.
Well, that was a nasty knife.
You'll have to take care of that wound right away. This the picture you were painting?
Yes, it's a bit the worse for wear, but I can repaint the smears.
Well, that's Margano's profile, all right. Except you made him look almost decent. All right, Slaughter. I'll head for Tombstone and get the men together.
What for?
What for? To drive those Apaches back to the Chiricahuas. If there's any left when we finish with them.
This happened on my property. As soon as I get Fell fixed up, I'll ride out and get the whole story.
A white man has been attacked. It doesn't matter whose property it happened on. It's a matter of defending the community now.
You listen to me, Vale. You fire a shot or even go near Margano.
Dig sand, men. It's an engineer.
Get that stack of rails. Crawl for it.
Up there on the rise, a mounted Apache.
Vale, don't fire.
Try and stop me.
I'll have to. Keep his gun for him, Wichita.
Oh.
Lasher!
What's this, Slaughter?
Have you gone loco?
I've come from White Eyes Picture Maker. I will not harm you.
Are you alone?
I am alone.
Then drop that bow and ride to me.
Send White Eyes Fell to me. He is our enemy.
Enemy?
Lasher, either parley like a man or send your father.
I warn you, Hustin Slaughter. Turn Fell loose or I will come back with my braves and take him.
I wouldn't try that.
I gave you until the sun is at its highest. Then we'll come back for the White Eyes.
We only got till noon, Luke. There's 20 braves in the camp, and plenty of them got rifles.
Vale could round up more men than that. But I'm not going to let this turn into war.
Luke, did you ever stop to think that maybe you could be wrong about Injuns?
In a moment, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone returns.
April 20th, 1958, Luke Slaughter of Tombstone on Classic Radio Theater.
This is a national health alert from the Healthcare Hotline. Are you on Medicare and or have private insurance and suffer from back pain? MD Topical has a solution for you. Today, you can qualify to receive a pain-relieving treatment, such as a comfortable back brace or a customized pain treatment at little or no cost. Call MD Topical toll-free now, 877-875-5909. It just takes a couple of minutes to qualify for these amazing treatments that have helped thousands of people with severe pain. Your personalized pain treatment will be delivered directly to your door. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com and get started on your road to a pain-free life. Call MD Topical toll-free, 877-875-5909, or go to mdtopical.com.
So the other evening, I was working on my laptop on the edge of the bed, and I just fell over. I just fell asleep, and it's these Giza Dreams bed sheets. And I snuggle up with them, and I snuggle up with my pillow, and my gosh, I've slept in a lot of hotels in my time. Really nice hotels, top quality, and none of them have anything like these Giza Dreams bed sheets. But don't take my word for it. Go to mypillow.com, use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. Give them a try. What have you got to lose? Go to mypillow.com, click on the Giza Dreams bed sheets, and you can sleep just as well as I do. I have a wonderful night's sleep with my MyPillow and my Giza Dreams bed sheets. MyPillow.com, use promo code USA, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calitrin that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calitrin for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved, I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Aronson. I take Calitrin for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calitrin is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now more of Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, April 20th, 1958.
And now, Act Two of William N. Robeson's production of Luke Slaughter of Tombstone.
Carter Vale came to in a fury. He swore to drive the Apaches back to the mountains. He swore he'd settle with me after he'd done it. Then he mounted his big stallion and spurred back toward Tombstone to recruit men and guns.
Luke, he's mad enough to eat the devil with his horns on. And I ain't so sure he ain't got a case.
He will have if Lasher brings his braves back to take Fell.
If I had incited those Indians, I'd tell you, Mr. Slaughter, but I assure you I was attacked without provocation.
Let me see your painting of Chief Margano again, Fell.
Whatever you're going to do, Luke, do it pronto.
Well, this is good. You've captured the strength of his profile, and courage in his eye.
This ain't no time to act like one of them art critic dudes. We're 2 hours away from being caught in a war.
I once saw the funeral rites for an old chief of the Chittimacha tribe in the Louisiana Territory. His son was very much concerned about the way the body was laid out on the funeral pyre, so that when the dead warrior met the Great Spirit... Phil, could you make another portrait of Margano from memory, posed as I tell you?
Certainly. I have his features fixed in my mind. I wouldn't need a model.
Let's go up to the house, then. You've got a picture to paint. Fell painted a new picture of Margano. We rode for the Apache camp a little before noon. The picture was a gamble, but I had to force a parley or deal with a possible massacre.
What if they ambush us?
They won't. But you can bet that the Apache scouts are escorting us in.
I certainly don't see them.
An Apache could hide behind one of your paintbrushes.
I wish you'd explain this picture folderol to me.
We will, if it turns out I'm right.
And if you ain't?
And we're all in a game of showdown for mighty big stakes. Now, pull down to a walk now. The camp's just the other side of this wash. Easy now, both of you. Don't let the welcoming committee scare you into a false move.
What welcoming committee? I don't see no... Uh-oh. Right out of the mesquite.
Oh, boy.
Margano and Lasher, wait. White Eyes, come with me.
We're all coming.
That's the buck who slashed me, Mr. Slaughter.
Don't worry. He's acting under Margano's orders now.
It appears like we beat Vale here, anyhow.
Not by much. See that Indian riding up to the edge of the mesa?
Yeah. He's telling Lasher and old Margano something in sign language.
White riders coming. It's bound to be Vale and the men.
Did anyone ever surprise an Apache?
Never twice.
Plenty far now.
Whoa. Whoa there.
Whoa.
Dismount, men. Wichita, unbuckle your belt and let your guns drop, like I'm doing.
But you...
Do it. Margano, we come in peace.
What of the others who ride toward us?
I want this young brave in Wichita to ride out and meet them with a white flag. We'll use your shirt for that, Phil.
I gotta surrender without even my gun?
My chief.
Get started, Wichita. And make sure that Vale's men walk their horses into this camp.
Sure, all right, Luke.
Now, Margano, Lasher, suppose you meet us halfway.
We want no parley. Give us White Eyes without a shirt.
Lasher, you insult me when you insult my friend. Now walk towards us, both of you.
Lasher will avenge his father.
Avenge him for what? Your father is just as I saw him this morning.
My son says, little man who draws with colored stick, tell lies to Great Spirit about Margano.
Your son is wrong.
I do not tell lies.
You speak with a tongue that has no wisdom. You strike out like a child who can't reason.
I am a man. I've killed Zuni warriors and Yaqui warriors.
I have told my son that killing can no longer be the way of the Apache. He replies that even white men kill to avenge a wrong.
The wise white man and the wise red man make sure a wrong has been done before they kill. Nothing should be decided in the heat of anger.
We've parleyed too long. White picture maker tell lies to Great Spirit.
Order! You're handling this like a...
Hold it right there, Vale. Where are the rest of your men?
Where they can cover this place with their guns. If you crawled your way into a trap. I explained that you sent out the white flag, Luke. And don't ask me to drop my guns. I don't aim to die before I pump some lead myself.
We've been having a little talk about hotheads. And now that the place is crawling with them, Mr. Fell and I'll show you how wrong you all are. Margano?
Where?
Hostine Fell has a gift for you.
I am not softened by a gift from one who lies.
Fell does not lie. His gift is the rolled white cloth he carries. Give it to your Apache friend, Mr. Fell.
Do not touch it, my father.
Take it, Margano. It's your likeness. The likeness Hostine Fell had not yet finished when your son so stupidly attacked him.
No, do not look upon it.
All right, I'll make you look at it.
Oh, my own son has told... Lasha, behold.
Aye? But this morning the picture had but one eye, but one ear, but half of a mouth.
I told you, Lasha. Hostine Fell had not finished. You think that a friend I brought to you would insult your great spirit and your father by drawing him with half a face when he has two eyes as piercing as the eagle's?
My people shall remember their chief as they see him here, as Hostine Fell has painted him.
Lasha was a fool. I will go from my people and never return.
No, Lasha.
Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, April 20th, 1958, concludes in 4 minutes on Classic Radio Theater.
Do you wish you could get better sleep and maybe lose a few pounds? Maybe more than a few pounds? Well, there's this product called Calotren that helps with both sleep and weight loss. Just listen to what people are saying about it.
I've been taking Calotren for right about 3 months, and I've lost 24 pounds and 19 overall inches. But my sleep has improved. I have so much more energy, and I have the desire to succeed more than ever. Anyone who needs weight loss, more energy, and better sleep, this product really does deliver.
I'm Roger. Over the 3 months that I took the product, my sleeping habits are increasingly much better. I got a better night's sleep, and I just can't say enough about the product and how it makes you feel. Also, additionally lost a little bit of weight on the program as well.
Hi, this is Erin, and I take Calotren for weight loss, and I've lost about 20 pounds, and I feel great.
Calotren is scientifically proven to help with sleep and weight loss safely and effectively. Check it out at toploss.com. That's toploss.com.
You know, once I leave my studio and my office here, I go home and I do a lot of online work for Classic Radio Theater and other things. And the other night I was sitting there just typing away on the computer, and the next thing I know, I'm out cold. I'm sitting there on the edge of the bed with my laptop, and I just fall out. And it's these new Giza Dream sheets. You know, I've always said I have the best sleep of my life with my pillow. And I didn't think it could get better. But these Giza Dreams bed sheets are amazing. I've stayed at my share of top-quality hotels over my time. But you know, these are some of the best sheets I've ever slept on. And you can sleep on them too. Brought over from this beautiful Giza region, from the Sahara, the Mediterranean, the Nile. And these sheets are so comfortable. No problem getting them on my little thicker-than-usual mattress because they've got these deep pockets in them. They fit remarkably well. And the pillowcases fit over my pillows without an issue. Folks, don't just trust me on this. You don't know me that well, but you've heard me talk about this, and I sleep so well. Thanks to these My Pillows, and thanks to the Giza Dream sheets, it's so comfortable at night. Just check it out for your own self. Go to MyPillow.com, click on the Giza Dream Sheets special. Use my promo code USA, and you'll get 30% off and free shipping. 30% off and free shipping. What have you got to lose? Go to MyPillow.com, enter promo code USA. And by the way, that promo code works on just about anything on the website. So do some nosing around. Do some shopping. After all, there's somebody on there, something for everybody you'll find in your life, don't you know?
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
If you enjoy our Classic Radio Theater broadcasts and want to start building a collection of your own, go to classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. There you'll find links to great classic radio collections on CD, along with links to great reading on classic radio, plus classic radio theater on demand. Check out our webpage, available now at classicradio.stream. That's classicradio.stream. And enjoy. Thanks for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station. Now the conclusion of Luke's Slaughter of Tombstone, April 20th, 1958.
Your father and your people need you. Today you've become wiser. The best thing now is to, just forget this foolish trouble. Now what are you doing?
Hastin Fell has no shirt. He will do Lasher an honor if he will accept Lasher's shirt of doeskin.
Why, I shall be very pleased.
And you will make a picture of Lasher when there's no pain in your arm?
Oh, my arm feels fine, Lasher. I'd like to paint you, and I can assure Mr. Slaughter that I will not attempt another profile.
Profile? I do not understand.
It's nothing, Lasher. Just a word painters use. Now, Vale, suppose you let your army know the war's over. As I turned toward Vale, Hunton, the other young Apache, was drawing his knife. I leaped for him, but Vale was off his horse in the same instant and hurling himself at me.
Slaughter, you fool! Mr. Vale, what'd you punch him for?
You think I want him to start a war? Might help him up, Wichita. Anton, you go ahead and throw your knife.
What? Well, Anton,
It is an evil knife. Evil spirits bewitched it. It harmed a friend. Anton hurls it from him.
You see, Luke, he wasn't aiming to harm nobody.
You claim to be such an expert on Apache customs, Slaughter. And an expert on hotheads. And now we're square for the punch you landed on me this morning. Right?
Right, Vale. I've been spouting about how tolerance and understanding are pretty much the same thing. I guess we both understand a little more about our neighbors. And if your jaw feels like mine, I guess from now on we're going to be a lot more tolerant of each other.
Luke Slaughter of Tombstone, starring Sam Buffington, was written by Fran Van Hartisveld, with editorial supervision by Tom Hanley, and directed by William N. Robeson. Supporting Mr. Buffington were Junius Matthews, Carl Swenson, Ben Wright, Don Diamond, and Jack Crucian. Music was composed and conducted by Amerigo Marino.
I couldn't sleep that night and nothing. My mother said, "What was the matter with you? It looks like something wrong." I said, "Nothing."
Nothing, he said. But there was something wrong. That night in the park, this boy and his juvenile gang had stabbed and beaten another teenager to death. The victim, Michael Farmer, son of a fireman.
He was a very courageous, spirited boy. He was athletic. He was an excellent student, and we had great plans for his future. It's a hard thing to realize that there is no future any longer.
For Michael Farmer's father, the future is blank. But for the rest of us, what implications does this crime hold? Tomorrow night, on most of these stations, CBS Radio's Unit 1 probes the causes and effects of the brutal New York gang murder for which 4 teenagers have just been tried and convicted. You'll hear gang members, police, parents, all probing for an understanding of the tragedy as Edward R. Murrow narrates Unit 1's penetrating study, Who Killed Michael Farmer? Tomorrow night. Next week at this time, we return with...
Slaughter's the name. Luke Slaughter. When we meet up again, you can call me that. Luke Slaughter.
April 20th, 1958, Luke's Slaughter of Tombstone. Coming up in just about 3 minutes, the dramatic conclusion of the yours truly Johnny Dollar story, The Shepherd Matter.
It's amazing but true. When it comes to one of America's biggest household expenditures, healthcare, a lot of people think they've got no choice. People are used to thinking we have to do it this way, but they don't. Yes, you have the freedom to choose an alternative with your healthcare. It's MediShare, and it costs way less than the alternatives. The typical family saves $500 a month, not a year, a month. And if you're single, this can save you a lot too. And let's face it, a big reason MediShare is 400,000 people strong, it just works. They've shared over $3 billion in medical bills, so they can help share your needs too. Joining MediShare for so many people is one of those things that makes you say, why didn't I do this before? So yes, the time has come for something better. Look into joining MediShare and see why so many people are opting out of the old way and into the new. Why not look into this? Just call 855-90-SALM. That's 855-90-PSALM. 855-90-SALM.
Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill. And again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-362-6091 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-362-6091 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-362-6091 now.
This report is brought to you by the National Cattlemen's Beef Association, a contractor to the Beef Checkoff. Did you know 42% of people use their smart devices in the kitchen, and almost half of them have used it for cooking assistance? Modern technology is being applied in the kitchen in new and exciting ways. Now, advancements in artificial intelligence can even bring the skills of a chef and the knowledge of a rancher to the home kitchen with Chuck Knows Beef. Chuck Knows Beef, an all-knowing virtual beef expert powered by Google Artificial Intelligence, is here to meet the newest generation of family cooks with beef inspiration and technology. Chuck's knowledge can be easily accessed through a smart speaker. Jennifer Jasinski, chef and restaurant owner.
Chuck was designed to fit consumer needs with instant access to recipes, cut and nutrition information, and cooking tips wherever they happen to be. He can serve a great steak recipe and even text you the shopping list.
For more information, visit chuckknowsbeef.com. Again, that's chuckknowsbeef.com.
Now on Classic Radio Theater, Part 5 of the 5-part Yours Truly Johnny Dollar story, The Shepherd Matter. This was originally broadcast April 20th, 1956.
From Hollywood, it's time now for...
Johnny Dollar.
This is the hotel operator, Mr. Dollar. Were you cut off?
Tell
her not to let any more calls in here.
Come on. I was cut off, but I'd rather get some sleep now. Anybody phones, just take a message.
All right, Mr. Dollar.
Over there. Sit down. Put your hands on your knees. Now, just so as you and I understand each other, you make one move. Wiggle a finger, I'll empty this gun right in your stomach. You understand me?
I understand you, Forbes. You're crazy.
Tonight, and every weekday night, Bob Bailey in the transcribed adventures of the man with the action-packed expense account, America's fabulous freelance insurance investigator.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Expense account submitted by Special Investigator Johnny Dollar to Richard Porter, 480 Webster Boulevard, Providence, Rhode Island. The following is an accounting of expenditures during my investigation of the Shepherd matter. I was pretty sick of it and with it when I had Paul Forbes visit me in my hotel room about 7 o'clock in the morning. He'd used a gun in front of me once before to crack my skull.
I decided I'd try to avoid that again. So I sat down and I played good. It didn't seem to please him a bit.
You were out to my house about an hour ago, weren't you?
Yeah, I went out to talk to your wife.
Yeah, I saw you. I was across the street watching. I followed you here. Fixing up another deal, huh?
I don't know what you're talking about, Forbes.
I followed you here so we could have a little talk. And we're going to have it, you and I.
You ought to put that gun away and let them take you, Forbes.
Where do you live?
In Hartford, Connecticut.
I mean, where do you live in town here in Providence?
I don't. I live in Hartford.
Where do you practice?
Practice what?
Are you trying to get funny with me?
I don't practice anything here in Providence. I don't live here. I'm just here for a few days.
Doing what?
Working on an insurance matter.
Insurance matter? You're licensed to practice law in Rhode Island?
Oh, you've got something all wrong, Forbes. I don't practice law. I'm not a lawyer. I'm an insurance investigator. I tried to tell you that yesterday morning when you cracked me with that gun. I was called in by Dr. Shepard. He said you threatened his life.
You're lying to me. Shepard called me yesterday morning and said a lawyer named Dollar was on his way over to talk to me about getting Pauline a divorce. You're a lawyer.
I'm what I say I am. If you hadn't started swinging that gun butt around, I'd have told you why I was there yesterday.
You got a billfold or something?
My coat pocket inside on the back of that chair there. I think I know why Shepard called you and told you I was a lawyer. I think he wanted you to attack me and make me
Shut up! You and Shepard are trying to pull something to take my wife away from me. I know that much. And now you're trying to pull something to get out of this jam.
You're wrong, Forbes. I don't know anything about trying to take your wife away from you.
You know I didn't kill Shepard.
How do I know you didn't kill him? You threatened him. Half a dozen people have attested to that. I know you had a reason to kill him. I know every time I've seen you, you had a gun in your hands and you've been swinging it at somebody, particularly me.
You know who did it. You're in on it somewhere. You know who killed Shepard, and you're going to clear me. You're going to tell me, Dollar. I'm going to whip it out of you. You're going to crazy.
All right. Get on your feet. He sat in the chair just the way I propped him there. His eyes looked dull and lifeless, as though he were already dead. I couldn't think of anything brilliant to say or do, so I rummaged around my suitcase and pulled out a bottle. Then I found a pair of glasses in the bathroom and poured a couple of drinks. When I came on out, he hadn't moved from the chair. He looked crumpled like a worn-out suit of clothes. He made no effort to look at me when I tucked the glass in his hand. Here, try this. Go on, drink it.
Why did you call the police?
Now, you say you followed me here to have a talk and find out what's what. Now's the time to talk, pal. This thing isn't the best conversation piece in the world.
Leave me alone. Call him in.
You have something going for you here. This gun hasn't been fired. Do you have another one?
No, Dollar, I didn't kill Dr. Shepard. I wanted to more than anything in the world. But I didn't kill him.
Now, look, I want some facts. So let's start with last night. Where were you when Shepard was shot?
How do I know where I was? I don't even know what time he was shot.
All right, let's start with yesterday morning. You slugged me, ran out of the house, jumped in a car, and what happened? Go on, take it from there.
I drove over to Dr. Shepard's office. I was going to have it out with him. He was breaking up my home.
Well, go on. Did you see him?
No. I parked down the street from his office, and then I saw him jump in his car, and I followed him. He came back over here. I knew my wife must have called him to take care of you.
What happened then?
I went over to the park and sat and tried to figure things out. You don't know what I've been through this past year.
All right, go on.
Then I went to a bar. I was hungry. I hadn't eaten all day. I got a couple of sandwiches, and then I had some drinks. I don't know how many. Anyhow, the more I drank, the more hopeless everything looked.
Did you call Shepard?
Yeah. I called him from the bar.
Any idea what time it was?
It must have been around 5 or 6. What difference does it all make? I'm cooked, and you know it.
Go on, will you? You called Shepard. Then what did you do?
I told him I wanted to talk to him about everything that had happened. I told him where to meet me.
You mean you wanted Dr. Shepard to come down and meet you so you could kill him?
Maybe I did have that in my mind. I don't know. On the phone, He sounded so calm and said we could talk it out and straighten it out like gentlemen.
Did you talk to him?
No. I didn't see him at all. I waited an hour and he never showed up. I called his office back and the answering service said everyone had gone out for the day and I didn't know what to do. I got back in my car and turned on the radio, and that's where I heard I was wanted for murder. Dollar, I didn't do it. I swear I didn't. I had reason enough, but I didn't. I knew all about the others, but this was serious.
Wait a minute. What others?
Pauline's always had other friends. Friends. I guess... I don't know. I don't guess I love her anymore. I don't know. I don't think she ever loved me. But I needed her. I needed her more than anything this last year or so. And at times I did love her the way it once was. And I found out what was going on between her and Shepard. She wanted a divorce. I wouldn't give her a divorce. If I had let her and Shepard get away with it, it would have been too much to take, to ask.
Oh, this doesn't make sense. Even though you didn't love her and she didn't love you, you wouldn't stand still for a divorce action? It sounds stupid.
I just told you. I needed her so much this last year or so. So much.
Still doesn't make any sense, Forbes. Why didn't you let her go?
She knew she didn't have to divorce me. She knew it wouldn't be too long.
What?
Shepard gave me a year. Another doctor in Baltimore, 18 months. Leukemia. Don't you see? She would have been free. They could have waited until I was dead at least. Just that, until I was dead. Couldn't they? Well, couldn't they?
Expense account item 10, $2, sleeping pills. I fed them to him along with a cup of hot chocolate. He looked pretty worn out, and within 15 minutes he was sound asleep in my bed. Item 11, $4.16, one long-distance phone call to a Baltimore clinic where I spoke with a Dr. Franz Mueller. Dr. Mueller confirmed what Forbes had said. Forbes was doomed with an incurable ailment. Item 12, 20 cents, another phone call, this one from the hotel lobby to the coroner's office. I learned that Shepard had been killed by 32 caliber slugs. Forbes' gun, a .32, had not been fired or hastily cleaned. His story was checking out. That left just one small item to be cleared up. Expense account item 13, $4, taxi fare from my hotel back to the Oakdale home. Special rates for nurses.
Hello. I thought you'd be back to see me. Somehow I'm glad it's you, Mr. Dollar.
Go ahead.
It's an old story. Terribly old and corny. I applied for a job as Dr. Shepard's nurse 5 years ago, and I fell in love with him that very day. I've loved him every day from that time on. 5 years.
Go on.
I don't know when it was when you started up with Mrs. Forbes. I knew she was trying to get a divorce. I knew Mr. Forbes wouldn't stand for it. Then one day, last week I guess it was, I heard Doctor talking to her on the phone. He said, there's a way to get rid of him. I knew he was talking about getting rid of Mr. Forbes.
Did they discuss the part about Shepard getting Forbes to threaten his life in front of witnesses so he could shoot him down when the time came?
No, I didn't know that until yesterday morning. So long ago, it seems. You came to see Doctor, and then you left. I overheard him on the phone again. He called up Mr. Forbes and said Mr. Dollar was coming over to talk about the divorce action.
And he knew Forbes would be upset enough to attack me.
Doctor was very good about anticipating what people would do in given situations. Even me. I was in the office when Mr. Forbes called last night. I saw Doctor put the gun in his coat. I knew he was going down to meet Mr. Forbes and shoot him, so I followed him. He was walking around in the dark looking for Mr. Forbes with a gun in his hand. I ran up to him and pleaded with him not to be crazy, that Mrs. Forbes wasn't worth it. Then he said he was going to kill me, too. We struggled. The gun went off. I don't know how many times.
I can help you, Corinne. You didn't mean to kill him. He meant to shoot you. When all these other details come out, the most they can charge you with is second-degree justifiable or manslaughter.
No. You're nice. But I can't get off.
Huh?
I guess the police haven't found her yet. I went over and killed Mrs. Forbes an hour ago.
Expense account item 14, same as item 1. Transportation back to Hartford. The next time you have a doubtful insurance application, Mr. Porter, settle it yourself or call someone else. Don't call me. As far as I can add up, and I'm not going to recheck the figures, expense account total is $485. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Now, here's our star to tell you about next week's intriguing story.
Next week, the case of a lonely heart that found plenty of company in the nearest morgue. Join us, won't you? Yours truly, Johnny Dollar.
Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Bob Bailey, is transcribed in Hollywood. Written by John Dawson, it is produced and directed by Jack Johnstone. Heard in this week's cast were Gene Bates, Virginia Gregg, Russell Thorson, Parley Bear, Herb Ellis, Barney Phillips, and Lawrence Dobkin. Musical supervision by Amerigo Marino. Be sure to join us on Monday night, same time and station, for another exciting story of yours truly, Johnny Dollar. Roy Rowan speaking.
That one I never would have guessed. Yours truly, Johnny Dollar, from April 20th, 1956. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater. It means so much to me that you appreciate the things that I do on this show. And I hope you'll visit my webpage, which is classicradio.stream, classicradio.stream, where you can stream our Classic Radio Theater podcast, learn more about Classic Radio Theater collecting, and even contact me through that webpage, classicradio.stream. If you'd like to drop me an email, you can do that. classicradiotheater@gmail.com. I'm Wyatt Cox. Thanks for listening. Thank this station. Support the advertisers. Tell a friend the great radio shows are back. Classic Radio Theater on your favorite station and the USA Radio Network.